RJ Barrett is showcasing his talents and abilities on the FIBA World Cup international stage. And because of his play, he recently had a sit-down interview where he was discussing Team Canada, his play, his development, and what we should expect from RJ Barrett in year 5. But we're not done there. RJ Barrett's dad was also recently interviewed, and he gave his opinion on what RJ Barrett has developed the most over the last few years with the New York Knicks. We're going to look into this and so much more today. Let's get started. RJ Barrett recently spoke out on his development and his game, not only with the New York Knicks, but also with Team Canada. You know, the same team that he dropped 24 points and 9 rebounds with when they beat Slovenia in order to get to the semifinals. That's the RJ Barrett that I'm talking about. And recently, he had a sit-down interview where he said this about his game and his development with the New York Knicks.
Where would you say you are right now on the trajectory of your career?
Just working every day, trying to get better. I've got some experience under my belt, been in the playoffs a couple times, played Team Canada, I played the senior team a couple times. So it's funny because I forget that I'm just still 23, so I'm still really young. But I've been able to have these experiences, and having them early just helps me to now. I kind of know what it is I need to work on. I kind of know who I am and just trying to really just help this team.
Sometimes I just forget how young I am. And RJ, not only do you forget that, but a lot of Knicks fans forget that as well too. So many Knicks fans forget how young RJ Barrett actually still is. RJ Barrett is only 23 years old. And I think we sometimes look at his NBA career and base it in terms of how many years he's been in the league versus how old that he is. And I think that's okay sometimes to do. I think sometimes years in the league does matter versus age. But I think also if you're young, the age does matter to an extent in terms of development. And RJ Barrett just spoke about it. He has a lot of different experiences underneath his belt thanks to Team Canada, thanks to the playoffs, thanks to the New York Knicks, thanks to all the levels of competition that he's been able to see during the FIBA World Cup and during his years as an NBA basketball player. I think all of these experiences have finally shaped him into the RJ Barrett that we're seeing now. Now, is he a perfect player? No. Does he still have a lot of development left to do? Absolutely. He's not perfect by any stretch of the means. His three-pointers need work. His defense needs work. He needs to try to get a little bit faster on his feet, using his IQ in a different way to understand that if he's not as fast as some of these guards, that he has to be able to stand in front of them or stay in front of them in some way. So that way, on the defensive end, he can do more than what he's doing right now. Because I think even RJ Barrett would tell you he's not satisfied with his game. There's still a lot more he wants to do with his game. And in terms of development, he has a lot of development left to go. He said it himself. He's still young. He's only 23. So because of that, we have to understand where RJ Barrett is coming from. During the FIBA World Cup, we've seen a little bit more invigorated RJ Barrett. Not only is he more aggressive, driving to the paint time after time after time, he's also shooting jump shots and shooting open three-pointers when he is wide open and there's nobody near him. But if somebody is near him and he feels like it's going to alter his shot, he's not going to shoot it. Instead, he's going to try to take that guy off the dribble and see what he can do in terms of getting to the paint, getting to the line, getting to the rim. And I love that about RJ Barrett because during the playoffs, that's what worked. That's what we needed to see from RJ Barrett during the playoffs. Because in the playoffs, he was running right behind Jalen Brunson, basically playing the second best player on the Knicks during that time in the playoffs. And he was thriving in the role when he was asked to do it. And he was running alongside Jalen Brunson, driving to the basket, being aggressive RJ Barrett. The same RJ Barrett that he's showcasing right now. If you've been watching the FIBA basketball games, if you've been watching the New York Knicks games, if you've been watching the playoffs, it's extremely clear. RJ Barrett is getting better. RJ Barrett is developing, and RJ Barrett needs to be aggressive with the ball in his hands versus settling for open jump shots or contested three-pointers, because that's not going to get it done for him. And quite frankly, that's not his game. And if Tom Thibodeau is asking him to do that, then Thibs needs to look in the mirror and ask himself, am I utilizing RJ Barrett right? Because I would argue you're not. You need to be able to maximize your players. And the only way to do that is to play them in their positions and allow them to thrive. Give them some independence. Give them the ability to make mistakes. But more than that, put them in a position where they can win. RJ is not a great defender. He's not a spot-up three-point shooter. He is a great driver to the basket. So give him the ball, run some plays for him, and let him thrive. Because he can thrive. And not only that, I think it's his time to thrive. He looks ready to make that next step. With Team Canada, he's one of the best guys behind SGA. For the Knicks, he can be one of the best guys behind Jalen Brunson. He's already showcasing he wants to take that next step, that next leap. He wants to be an all-star. We want him to be an all-star. The only way that happens is if he takes all of these experiences and it makes him be more aggressive, makes him ask for the ball more, and makes him take that number 2 role for the New York Knicks away from Julius Randle. Because I think that's the only way he's going to get it. And right now, given his play, his experiences, and all the things he's using to improve his game, and I think the best shot for RJ Barrett to do that is this upcoming season. So all eyes are going to be on RJ Barrett once the season starts. And I hope he gives us something worthwhile to watch. RJ's dad also spoke about RJ Barrett's biggest development since he's been in the league and with Team Canada. And his answer might shock you just a little bit, but if you've been watching RJ Barrett and his growth, it may not be too much of a surprise. Roll it.
Your son's physical development is just, I feel like I see him every 6 months, and each time he's, getting bigger and bigger. Where have you seen his biggest growth?
I mean, one, definitely physically. I mean, he's put on some weight to be able to take the rigors, and also the city you're playing in can impact what's happening. Like New York is not an easy market.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get at you there. So his resilience is what I'm very proud of as a father. Like, no matter what you're throwing at me, I'm going to keep coming at you. I like that.
What a proud moment it has to be for RJ Barrett's dad. Shout out to him. Great comments about his son here. I agree with them 100%. RJ Barrett, in terms of his physique, his body has absolutely taken an upgrade and a step up. He's bigger, and last year it may have slowed him down a little bit. But this year, it seems that he's working very well with that additional weight on his body, moving right and moving normally. And that's exactly what you wanted to see. So I absolutely agree here. RJ Barrett's development physically is definitely something noteworthy. But not only that, what RJ Barrett's dad said about New York, the market, the pressure, and that they'll get at you more or less if you make a mistake or don't bring your A game each and every night. But RJ Barrett playing through that, being resilient through that, shutting off some of the noise sometimes and focusing on his game, what he needs to do, and how he can help his team win, that is something that his dad even looks at him and says, that's something that I'm proud of. And you know what, RJ? Your dad's not the only one proud of that. I'm proud of that, and a lot of New York Knicks fans are also extremely proud of how resilient you are, not only to the criticism you hear, but also even to the positivity. Because sometimes when you hear too many positive things, you might be cocky or overconfident. But that hasn't happened with RJ Barrett. Because for all the good things he's heard, and for all the bad things he's heard, he's never changed himself or his demeanor. He's always been cool, calm, and collected, always been RJ Barrett. But more importantly, he's always been that same Rowan that we've come to love. He's always going to be in the gym. He's always going to be working on his craft. He's always going to give 110% effort in what he's doing on that floor. And I think that's all you could ask for RJ Barrett as your draft pick. Remember, guys, we drafted RJ Barrett. He is our draft pick. So that's one of the main reasons I love him so much, and I want to see him develop and thrive so much. But not only that, I see it. I see flashes of an RJ Barrett sometimes during regular season or playoff games that if he did it consistently enough would cause fits in the NBA and cause defenses to guess so much that they just wouldn't know what to do with RJ Barrett. He has the ability, he has the skill set, and I believe he has the IQ to be that type of player for the New York Knicks. But it's going to take coaching, it's going to take running plays for him, and it's going to take confidence from his side to be able to showcase this with the New York Knicks. And I think that confidence needs to be taken, because at this point, if you're confident that your game is good and you think you can contribute on a higher level for the Knicks team, then you absolutely need to take that second spot behind Jalen Brunson, because apparently it's not going to be given to you. If last season was any indication, nothing is being given to anybody. If you want something on the New York Knicks, you are going to absolutely have to take it. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a comment below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.